There is the chance of a lifetime right in front of you. Your dream, your vision, your goal has never been more possible than it is right now to realize or achieve. And whether you believe that or not, or see that possibility or not, makes no difference, because it is inevitable in that you cannot fail. But you can postpone it. And the same part of you that is willing to postpone it out of fear for failing in it is the same part of you that just judges yourself, that is afraid of rejection and the criticism of others, and thinking that there are any actual real consequences to following your inspiration, to acting on your excitement, to having a grand vision in life, thinking that there's anything wrong or anything unworthy about you that was not deserving of that. You see, that's really it. You, the fact that you exist, is all the proof that you really need to know that that dream or inspiration or vision that you have is actually already yours. It is already done. You would not even be able to be aware of it. You would not have a sense of it. You would not be able to imagine it if it were not already existing. And in that sense, you cannot fail. The part of you that thinks you can fail is simply the mind that's protecting you from whatever you are worried may happen along the way. It's that sort of protective mechanism. It's a self-preserving kind of tendency that we have to keep ourselves safe in the familiar, to hold ourselves back from greatness, from possibility, from success even, because of what others might think, because of how it might alienate us, because of what it will create in our lives that we cannot predict or expect or plan for. The sort of unknown, right? We think that we fear the unknown, but really what you fear is what you think about the unknown. And what you think about the unknown is simply just your innermost world pressed outward. Your own insecurities, your own fears, your own doubts, your own lack of belief in yourself, your own lack of trust, all of which then gets pressed outward and used against yourself to justify why you're not getting started, why you're not committed, why you're not there yet. And look, I get it. I've been there. Before I started this YouTube channel about 13 months ago, I'd been telling myself that one day I'm going to do it. One day I'm going to get started. I have all these ideas. I have this perspective. I want to connect with people. I want to share myself. I want to share these things. But I'm not ready. And maybe people aren't ready for it. Maybe what will they think? What will my family think? What will my friends think? This idea they have of me will completely change once they see this part of me that I've never shown before. What if it all works out? Oh man, what if it's a success? Then what? Then you have to face the reality of who are you when you're not containing yourself to your limiting beliefs, to your sense of smallness, to your insecurities. You see, that's actually the same part of you that's preventing you from getting started. It's the same part that just wants you to stay here, in the familiar, in the safety, because that's predictable. At least you know what that's like. And in that sense, it's become a kind of addiction. That sense of self and everything around it, and all the ways in which you relate to others in that, has become a kind of safety. And yet, it is always simply one choice from expanding out to that. By taking that chance that's right in front of you, acting on that opportunity, taking that step with your inspiration, your intuition, as to that one next thing that you can do. And in truth, this vision, this goal, this dream that you have, it is already done. Think about it like this: the seed that becomes the tree, the immense oak tree, this massive being, is encapsulated in the tree. And in that sense, you could say that the seed is already the tree. The tree is already within the seed, and yet the only thing that distinguishes it is the time and the process and the growth and the unfolding, everything that nurtures it to become what it is. And looking at it before it starts, and all the fears and insecurities of where it might go and what it might become and what might be a mistake along the way and how you might screw it up and all this, right? Actually, in the form of the tree, looking back, every little sprout that comes off that seed, every little branch that comes out, every growth, every inch, every millimeter that emerges out of that seed, regardless of the judgment of whether it's good or bad or right or wrong or how perfect or imperfect it is, the fact is that it is the tree. And so no part of it is a mistake, and no part of it is a failure. It all becomes ultimately the tree. And when does the tree end? When is the tree complete? When does it become the tree? You see, that's the thing. From the linear mind, we're imagining this point, this place, this outcome, which is then a definable, containable moment where it then becomes that thing. But in reality, there is no such point. There is only the process of it unfolding, your willingness to be committed, devoted, to nurturing it, to showing up in it, to living it, to being it day in and day out. And that is the watering of that seed. That is the confirmation of the inevitability of all that you are becoming a reality, becoming manifest. And you see, that's why you cannot fail. You can only fail forward, because the forward failing of the progress that you're making, which includes all the mistakes, every time that you screwed it up, everything that was needed in order to become all that it's meant to be, when looking back from that future vantage point, seeing actually how all of the imperfections along the way are what make it so perfect and unique. And from the starting point, all we really have are the excuses that we're using to justify why we're not willing to take the risk to get going. But you see, that's it. That's the chance that stands right before you, is allowing the seed of all that you are to sprout and to blossom and to grow into what it's wanting to become, into all that it's meant to become. And you see, when I started this YouTube channel 13 months ago, of course, I had a desire, I had a vision, I knew in my heart what was possible. I doubted that. I distrusted that. I distrusted and doubted myself in that. I didn't know how it was going to go, but I knew that I was committed. And the thing is, the ideas that I had, that I thought were complete and brilliant and were going to become something, did indeed become something, but not what I thought they would become. I only realized in retrospect, now looking back over the last 13 months, all that was needed for those ideas to come together, to crystallize into the form that they're in now, where I can now only see from this point that they're just getting started, that the aligned creator and all that it represents and all the ideas and concepts and techniques and practices and everything that I've created over the last 13 months that is a part of that didn't exist in the thought that I had back then, in the pride that I had back then, in the idea, the fantasy that I had back then, that it was somehow done, that it was just going to happen, that I know now would never have happened. It would not have been possible unless I had taken that first step, taken that chance to get started. And you see, when I started, I began with a 30-day commitment. One video every day for 30 days. My intention was to just be able to get comfortable with clicking record, speaking my mind, sharing my ideas, cultivating that sense of confidence of authenticity in my expression, and then sharing it with the world and facing the feedback and the criticism and the judgments of others and of myself, and really looking at all that, not as something out here, but something within me, so that I could uncover more of what was holding me back from everything that it wanted to become. Uncovering my insecurities, facing my doubts, overcoming my own fears, all of which were the shadow of my dream, of that vision already here, but just seemingly preventing me from living it. And you see, each and every day, the more that I lived it, the more I chose for it, the more that I demonstrated, the more it sprouted and blossomed into what it is now. And I still have no idea where it's going, but I am sure as hell glad that I got started, because I realized everything that I was fooling myself in from the very beginning, thinking that it was just going to happen without me making it happen. And that's just it. That's why I said it's inevitable, because once you get started and once you are actually committed, then it is inevitable. Because every step that you take, every seeming mistake along the way is a part of all that it is meant to be. And you can only see that when you look back, when you're in the process of it. And so, what is it that you dream of? What is it that you're envisioning? What is it that you have as a goal? Even if you don't know what that is, what is it that you can commit to daily as a practice, as a creative expression that is perhaps at the heart of what then would serve whatever that could be? Right? That's the essence of alignment that I talk about so much, is that if you don't know what it is yet, what you want to create yet, what you want to build, whether it's a business or that next level of your business, whether it's your art forms, your creative expression, whether it's the work that you want to do, the service you want to offer, if you don't quite have the clarity on it, what you can cultivate is the space for that clarity to inspire that direction. That is the choice that you can make, and that most likely is a creative practice, because the creative practice is the transformational process. The you that starts the creation is not the same you that is on the other side of that creation being birthed and being shared into the world. There is a forging process. There is that beautiful, horrible experience of facing yourself, of embracing yourself, of blossoming into all of yourself in the process of creating from the deepest place of your innermost self and sharing that with the world. That is a sacred act. And that is you becoming more of who you always already are. And that's why perhaps acceptance of yourself, love of yourself, embrace of yourself, and the willingness and the courage to act even when you don't know whether it's going to work, whether it's going to be good, whether people are going to like it, whether you're worthy of it, but you just commit to doing it. Because that's what I realized over the last 13 months, is that no matter how I feel, no matter what I think, if I just show up and do it, then somehow it gets done. And I've made the mistake in thinking that I need to be inspired, that I need to be feeling good, that I need to be in the right state of mind. But actually, it makes no difference as to how you feel. You are what you are. It is what it is. And the more you show up in devotion and dedication to that which is yours, in the unfolding of all that is yours, then the more that frequency starts to become prominent, even to yourself, when you can least find it, least feel it. You cannot change what you are, who you are, but you can commit to revealing it to yourself more and more, and to the world more and more. And that is the greatest act of courage, to be yourself unapologetically, to pursue your dreams, to face your fears, to uncover your gifts, to act on your inspiration, and to share that boldly with the world. And this is your purpose. It is why you are here, as an aligned creator. And if you have been waiting, if you have been wanting clarity, if you have been wanting accountability, then perhaps my 12-week Aligned Creator Mastermind will be helpful for you. If you're interested in this, comment creator down below. And today is actually the last day to get the early bird pricing. There are only a couple of spots left. So if you're ready to take that chance, to align with your true self, to overcome your resistance, and to manifest that desired reality, then comment creator down below and I'll send you more information about this 12-week mastermind.